Good evening, everyone. It's nice to have everyone here tonight in this. So thank you. It's nice to have all of us here in this session tonight. Thank you for those of us on YouTube. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in. As we all know, for those of us that don't know, today is actually my birthday. So thanks for joining. So I would love every one of us, both on the Zoom and on the YouTube, we should drop a happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Grace. Happy birthday, Grace. I will so much appreciate this. Thank you so much. And tonight with us, we already have our guest with us tonight. Our guest, she's with us tonight. The person of Lara Yeku. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for picking up our call to join us for tonight's program. As I said, today is a special day for me because today is actually my birthday. So thank you very much. So Lara Yeku is a global HR leader. She's an executive coach, she's a mentor, she's an international speaker, design thinking expert, and author. She's well recognized for her innovative contributions to the current trend and practices in the evolution of human resources management in Nigeria. Lara is currently a divisional director and is head of HR food division at Flour Mill of Nigeria PLC. As a highly respected HR thought leader, she has won several awards, including 2019 Talent Management Strategist, 100 Women B2B Thoughts Leadership, and second LinkedIn Top 10 Women Thought Leaders to follow in 2020, 40 HR Leaders in 2022 to follow in Nigeria by People Hub. She is a member of the International Coaching Federation, ICF, USA, and a strength couple with Gallup Strength INT USA, recently completed an executive education with Yale School of Management. She's the founder of HR Gems Network, a community of professionals with a common goal to be positive change agents, and the author of the innovative storytelling and mentoring book by HR Storybook. She is happily married and blessed with 3 children. She loves to dance. Wow. Hey, she loves to dance. I really love that because I'm not a good dancer. And she finds fulfillment in impacting life positively. So over to you, ma'am. Ma'am, it's nice having you here tonight. We are so grateful for joining us tonight. You are welcome. The audience online are saying welcome. Let's welcome our guest for tonight. You are welcome, ma'am. It's nice meeting you. You are welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Grace.
Yes, ma'am.
Adaramola.
Yes.
Adaramola, yes. And happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you,
yes,
ma'am.
I wish you the very best. And I pray that the new year would crown you with joy, grace, abundance, and all that your heart so desires. Happy birthday. And I do believe that today you've taken care of yourself, you've given yourself a treat.
Yes, ma'am. Right. Yes, ma'am. My husband actually went out of his way to give me surprise. Like today is one of the best birthdays that I've ever celebrated.
Fantastic. Oh, yes, that's so beautiful. Please extend our appreciation to him.
I will. Thank you so much. Okay. So, ma'am, I would like to ask, as we know, the theme for our tonight's program is talking about strategies for seamless transitioning from the classroom to the corporate success. So I would want to ask, for our audience online, what should be our expectation for tonight's program?
Awesome. Great one. And honestly, when I read the topic that was shared with me, strategies for seamless transition from classroom to corporate success, I was really excited. The reason is because it's not just the need to talk about how to succeed in the corporate world, but rather it's more around the strategies. And when we talk about strategies, I'm someone who is very passionate when it comes to strategy, because I believe that when you are someone who is very strategic, you increase your chances of success at whatever you do. With strategy comes the need for us to sit down and plan, think ahead, have foresight, understand what you need to do to succeed at what you are planning to succeed at. So that is really about strategy in a success. So I really love the topic, and my expectation tonight is I'm hopeful that we'll be able to share actionable, realistic strategies based on my experience, based on stories, to enable people use it to design their own career success path. So I'm looking forward to learning and sharing this evening. I do hope that the expectations of people will be met. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Because even me personally, I came with so much expectation, and which I know that I will not be going the book. I'm presently home. So there's so much to learn, even on my own hand. So Ma, I would like to ask, what role does education in okay, do we say education? Because most times you say school, I'm going to school. So, and if you look at, okay, I would, let me use myself as an example. I studied food science and technology for 9 years. I went to Lagos State
Wow.
Polytechnic. Yes, Lagos State Polytechnic. I crossed over to university to study same food science and tech. 2 years, everything in total 9 years. But presently, I've never used my certificate. I graduated 2019. So currently, I've not used my certificate for a job, because I transited totally from food science and tech to another field entirely. So, which we'll still discuss over time. So, Ma, I would like to ask that, what role does our education plays in the smooth transitioning of, of from classroom to the corporate world? Because me being a food science and tech and still not using, presently not even using it, it's not worth putting money in my pocket right now. So I would like to ask, what really happened? Is it that we were not taught some things from the classroom and we just got it when we are out of school? So I would love to ask that, Ma.
Okay, thank you. That's a great question. When you talk about yourself, I think a lot of people are also in that space. I read biochemistry, and I've always had my career in human resources. so, so the honest truth is, a lot of people usually do not get to use whatever they've studied in school in their future careers. But nonetheless, what role does it play? I believe that it does play a critical role in laying the right foundation for us to build our careers on. Now, when we talk about education, education encompasses the scope of learning and development. Let me use you as an example. You read food science, right? Today, what you're doing is totally different. But what I can tell you is, in that moment, in that phase of your life that you were in school, you were learning some critical life skills. For instance, you were learning discipline, because you have to study. If you don't study, you would not pass your exams, and you might have to repeat that course. But you had to discipline yourself to study. That's a life skill in that journey of education, in that journey of learning and development while you were in school. You also had to learn to build relationships, work with people, relate with people. I'm sure you might have been in one group or the other, or you might have taken projects. In those phases of things that you were doing, you were actually building life skills. You're developing your communication skills. You're learning and growing, developing life skills. So, because at the end of the day, when we talk about education, education is not just only about the certificates or the books or the knowledge that we acquire. Education speaks to the growth that we all had to go through to get to where we are. Take, for instance, I read biochemistry, but today I am in the HR space. But I'll tell you that a lot of the knowledge that I garnered as a biochemist is playing out. One, for instance, the understanding of human psychology, even though I did more of the biological parts. Now I work with people. I tend to observe. I tend to observe people as HR. People do have medical records. People engage with HMO. And a bit of my medical background helps me to even relate and discuss with people better. So, for instance, if an employee comes to me and the employee is not feeling too well, with my knowledge of biochemistry, because I actually had worked in the medical laboratory, I can share, I can engage them to say, okay, have you done this particular test? You need to go to the hospital, you need to see your doctor, you need to monitor your blood sugar, so if you would realize that when it comes to the point where you're communicating, the knowledge that you had learned while you were in school would show up one way or the other. And overall, the education really did help to shape and mold us as we acquire life skills for the future.
Thank you so much. So for those that believe that they said schooling is scam. So please change that school of thoughts. Going to school is not scam. They said going to university is scam. So you can see that it's not scam. So Ma, that leads to my second question. What's the difference between schooling and education? Is there a difference?
Fantastic. Great question. When we talk about schooling and education, sometimes those words are used interchangeably.
Okay.
But however, schooling to me refers to a formal process of attending a school, right? Attending a course, typically in a structured system education, where it involves instructions, experiences, it involves curriculum, it involves what you need to do part-time, your course of study. So there's a structure when it comes to schooling. Okay, where people get to acquire learning, knowledge, and skills for whatever purpose they are in that school for, interacting with their peers, with teachers. So that's schooling. And we have formal school and informal school. So for instance, for informal school will be those who go to Arabic school, Arabic lessons and a whole, so it encompasses the structure through which learning happens and education happens. But education, on the other hand, encompasses the broader scope of learning and development throughout one's life. When we tell people to learn, unlearn, and relearn, you learn, unlearn, and relearn by educating yourself through various means, either going to a structured school, either taking online course, through different ways of acquiring knowledge, skills, values, attitudes. So honestly, I don't see difference between both of them, but it's just that schooling is more structured, while education is broader. And when you go to school, to acquire education. You acquire education in a school. So they are more or less the same thing, but used interchangeably. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. I would like to contribute to that because just like the first question we asked concerning the transitioning of education to the success, to the corporate success, because what makes you different from someone that has not been that is not an literate is that the way you package. There's one course in my course, being a food science, we call something packaging, brand and branding. The way you present your things out there will be very, very different from someone that has not even gone to the four corners of the school. Like, okay, there was a time I was learning fashion designing from someone that has not been to school. So I could not get that knowledge very well from her because even she herself, she does not understand how do I put it? The processing, like the cutting, the measurement. She still write her measurements in French, the way she was being taught by her boss. So by the time she told me, I didn't understand it. That was like up to now. I don't know how to sew. So I would say it's a wasted effort because I didn't learn anything from it. But imagine I got it from someone like Vicky James, then I would know where I would have been today. So thank you so much for that. So which brings to my next question, because these questions are interwoven. For younger generations out there, what transformation information can we give to them, especially in self-discovery? They discovering their self earlier. What transformation information can we give to them so that they will not waste much time in, okay, just like me, studying in school for 9 years. I'm totally into tourism presently. So imagine taking up that course as a course for that past 9 years. I would have been a pro, but I just had to start again. So what information can you give to these young people out there, especially in this century that we have so many distractions, especially the social media, the social space. There are so many distractions. So Ma, what information can you give to these younger ones out there so they won't go a long journey and they will discover themselves earlier?
Exactly. I mean, you sort of nailed it. You nailed the nail at the head. So what information will I give to those young ones? I believe that the younger generation, they're a lot more opportune than our generation, especially now with the advent of technology and social media. It has accelerated their ability to learn and to grow. So what I would tell them is, first and foremost, in the new world of work that we are in, they need to understand that things are no longer the way it used to be.
Yes.
First, it starts with self-discovery. A lot of us, and I'm really very mindful of my words, a lot of us decided our career path based on what our parents chose for us.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, but this generation, they're a lot more bolder and they have more opportunity.
Yes.
What I would say to them is discover what you want. Discover why you exist. Discover your purpose. Because as early as possible, when they're self-aware in terms of what they're really good at, their strengths, what problem they can solve, there is no limit to how much they can accelerate their career. I have a young lady who currently designs my graphic and I pay her, and she's still in the university and she does amazing graphics. So in this world of work, give yourself permission, one, to discover yourself, and then go all out and be a solution provider. Once you're able to identify problems rather than complain, provide solutions, look for ways through which technology can solve those problems, the sky is just the beginning. And that's why we have a lot of young people who are doing amazing things with technology now, solving social problems with technology at a very young age, because it's first starts with discovering what they are all about, who they are, having our passion to solve problems, and then leveraging technology to scale their solutions. So I tell them, in the world that you're in, there's no better time than to excel in whatever career endeavor you've decided to follow through.
To start now, because thank you so much for that, Ma, because currently the social media space is so corruptive that even if one is not careful, you can just be there and you just waste out times, waste out resources. Because one thing our organization is into is that we are a non-governmental organization. Mostly we reach out to secondary school students, students that are out of secondary school and young graduates, that's from the university. And we so much emphasize on self-discovery, getting to know themselves, to know what they really want out of life at a very early stage. Because it might be so painful if somebody at 30 is just asking that what next? What would I do? It can be so frustrating. I could remember when I finished serving after my NYSC, some of my colleagues started asking, what next? What should we do? Where can we submit our jobs to? you, you can understand, so kind of, it can be so frustrating at times. I'm with you, Ma. You want to say something, Ma?
Yes, I totally agree with what you're saying. And which is why for me, it's really around helping them identify what their priorities are early in life. I mean, you made a comment that social media is very, disruptive or corruptive. I don't remember the exact word that you use. I don't totally agree with that. I think it borders on the usage of social media. There's a lot of learning happening on social media. People are selling their markets in quotes on social media. So there's a lot. It just boils down to how disciplined and your purpose for being on social media. Yes, there are some days where I feel so stressed. I just want to ease out. I go on social media, I laugh, follow and watch skits and the likes, and then
Yeah,
I move
that's
on.
true.
Yes. So it's really around defining the purpose of social media and then being disciplined on social media. I will not entirely accept that social media is corrupt. It has come to stay. It is part of our lives. We just need to be a lot more disciplined in terms of what we use social media for and be more purposeful in terms of how we leverage social media as well.
That's true. Thank you, Ma. Thank you for the correction. So for our audience out there, learn to be disciplined in using your social media. Use it for something productive because people are making money out of it. Thank you so much, Ma. So, Ma, over to my next question. Ma, can you hear me? I guess my network. Oh, I guess. Ma, can you hear me? Oh, the network. Oh, the network is back. All right. Thank you, Ma. So this leads to my next question. What strategies can these young individuals from secondary school, from tertiary and emerging institutions, what strategies can they use to transition themselves from the classroom to the corporate success? So what are the strategies that are needed, the tools?
Fantastic. Great one. First is self-discovery, which you already spoke about, and I'm not going to elaborate for that. I think first is to understand why you exist. What are you really good at? What problems do you feel passionate to solve? Because if you're going to transition, it's important to transition with clarity of purpose. It's important to transition with an intention of a bigger goal that you want to achieve rather than just transition blindly. A lot of us, when we leave school, we just want to survive. Let's just get a job, earn a living, and just survive. And after a couple of while, we'll discover that we're not satisfied with, we're not finding fulfillment with whatever we're doing. And at that point, we go back to the drawing board to find out what is going on here. So first and foremost, is self-discovery. And that starts with self-awareness and knowing what you want out of life. The second is purpose. What is your career purpose? What is that career that you want to build in? What is that profession and what is it about? Is it just to make money, or is because you're really passionate to be part of something and to solve a problem? So identify what your career purpose is. The third step for me would be take responsibility and do not be reactive. So taking responsibility means, one, going out to understand what are the things I need to do to excel in this field. If I'm building a career in marketing, what are the certification, what are the courses that I need to take? If I want to build a career in finance, what are the trends in terms of areas that I need to build capability and skills? So take responsibility for yourself and stop blame game. Stop thinking oh, there are no jobs because the government is not providing jobs. There are no jobs because I don't know anybody. There's nobody, I'm not
No
connected to any.
connection. Yeah.
So there's a need for you to start taking responsibility. The fourth for me will be having the right mindset. It all starts with mindset.
Yes,
If you
ma'am.
believe you can, yes, you can. If you believe you can't, you're absolutely right. You also can't. So having the right mindset that forges you ahead, that empowers you, would really go a long way. Because I tell a lot of young people, your mindset determines your lens view of life. So you need to learn to be very optimistic and have positive mindsets at all time. The next, I think the fifth one is to skill. The world has evolved to becoming a skill-based world now. To understand what skills that you need to have at the entry level. So if you are transitioning from classroom into corporate world, a couple of key skills would be one, communication skills. That is really important. We're in a world where with social media chatting, a lot of people are beginning to lose sense of business writing skills or professional writing skills. So take learnings and courses on communication skills, both written and verbal skills. Very important. Another skill is interpersonal skills. Your ability to to relate with people, engage is very, very important. The third is time management skill is also very important. I mean, that's the ability for you to be able to work within set timelines and show up and deliver within timelines that as required of you. So understanding the critical skills that you need to have, trainability, ability to learn very fast, ability to solve problems, critical thinking, innovative thinking. Those are the skills you need to have. Go online, check World Economic Forum relevant skills in 2025 and start building those skills. Tech skills, behavioral skills, social skills. Your skills will set you apart and accelerate your career. Then the next is repositioning. How do you reposition yourself? You cannot build all these skills and then keep quiet, stay in one place, and you're not positioning yourself. You're not updating your CV, you're not applying your CV, you're not sending CV, you're not applying to jobs, you're not networking, you're not on LinkedIn or Facebook in groups contributing. Position yourself as someone who is really passionate, high energy driven, and a problem solver. And then finally, for me, is having the right behavior and attitude. Because at the end of the day, your ability to transition is adaptability, knowing that you're no longer in the university where, maybe you have lecturers who have to monitor you and chase you into the corporate world now where you have to become an adult and take full responsibility for your actions. So learn those behaviors that would set you apart. I mean, for me, those would be the summarized strategies and tools that would help in transitioning from classroom to the corporate world.
Wow, that's so nice. Thank you for that, because I remembered myself, using myself as an example, being a BSc holder, and I told my husband, I said, I don't want to work with this certificate of mine, food science and tech. And my husband was like, why? I said, though I've worked in the field, I did my IT in food industry, but sitting in a space, being a quality personnel, quality control manager, and you keep how do I put it? We must ensure quality of our products. It must not change. So definitely we have to take sample and you have to keep testing to ensure that everything is still intact. So it's kind of, I get bored, and it's not as if they will permit you to go for professional courses. That's some of the food so companies. So, and I said that I get bored. So my husband was like, okay, what do you want to do? I said to say, I want to go into the world of tourism. So I started to make research, and I had to go back. I had to go back to aviation school. I had to sit with YF holders, not even minding the fact that I'm a BSc holder. It doesn't matter, because I know what I actually wanted to get. So I had to go back to aviation school to go and acquire the skill I needed for tourism. So which I'm doing presently. And I'm so happy, which will still bring me to my next question. So what are your thoughts on living a purpose-driven life and experiencing fulfillment? So what comes to your mind when you are living a purpose-driven life and you are experiencing, just like me, I'm experiencing fulfillment. I love what I'm doing. So I want to ask you.
You said it all. So just like you need
Yes,
to see
ma'am.
the beam, you need to see the beam of excitement and lights, like showed up on your face when you were talking about you finding fulfillment in what you do. I mean, there was just this excitement that just popped out. And that's it. When you're living in line with your purpose, it gives you fulfillment and satisfaction. It excites you every Monday morning when you wake up, you're excited to go to work. It's not from Sunday evening where you're already disgruntled, you're already feeling that office again. So when you work in fulfillment, there's just so much inner joy, inner peace, mental wellness
Yes, ma'am.
that you get. There's just this joy and peace. And there's something called the mind-body connection. When your mind is at peace, your body would perform.
Yes,
When your
ma'am.
mind is not at peace, then that's when you start having all sort of health issues. So it puts you at peace. It gives you a meaning or a reason to live life every day. Let me give you an example. My former organization, Accenture, where I'd worked for 11 years, our purpose was very clear. Our purpose then was to be part of great things happening in the world. So because it's a consulting company. So when you join the
Okay.
company, you could join with the mindset that you are contributing to building a better world. So everybody, right from the gatesman to the cleaner, you're very clear the purpose of what you're doing and how it links to the overall business purpose. And that way you don't come to work just like you're coming to work to earn a living, but rather you're coming with purpose and excitement. And that gives excitement. Same with my current organization, Flour Mills of Nigeria, where our purpose is feeding the nation with quality food. The purpose is it makes you feel a sense of contribution to the overall purpose. My role as HR is I feel a sense of connection to that purpose because my role is to ensure we have the right talent, to retain them, engage them, to be able to deliver on our purpose of feeding the nation every day. So every morning when I'm going to the office, I'm going with excitement that I'm impacting my world by contributing to the manufacturing of food that people will eat. That's the big purpose. So when you have purpose, it changes the trajectory for you. Let me finish with this story. So there was a construction site where people were building a mansion. Somebody saw one man on that site. Spoke to three different men doing the same work.
Okay.
He asked the first guy, "What are you doing?" The guy said, I'm just here laying bricks to earn my salary."
To eat.
So that's one. To eat, earn a salary. The second one said, "Oh, I'm just here laying bricks to build a cathedral." That's the second one. And the third guy said, "I'm here contributing to the building of an edifice where people can worship God." One question, three different men, three different answers. How do you think the first guy will come to that site every day? Let me just make my money and get out of here.
Exactly.
How do you think the second guy will come? Let's just build this building and let me move on. But the third one is, I'm building an edifice where people can worship God. So for him, it's not about the building, it's about the purpose of that building. So I would end with that simple story by asking, if you are asked, why are you doing what you're doing? Would your answer give you innermost peace, and satisfaction? Food for thought.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I so much love that, because mostly I would want to quote, if I'm wrong, in Nigeria of today, most people work because of, we have bills to pay. Children will go to school, we want to pay house rentage, we want to do this, so many reasons. So that's why you see people like, they are kind of out there, they just blast at any little thing. What do you mean? Who are you? You don't know me. Like, this one is frustrated though. So sincerely, I love that. When you find, okay, just like my husband, at times I don't book tickets for people, but people call me at the middle of the night that, please, can you help me check in? These are people I don't book for. I'll just stand up out of my wheel and do it seamlessly. I'm also like, God, I've not seen someone like you. See the way you are enjoying this thing, even when you are not paid for it. But I just find fulfillment in it, seeing people smile.
Yeah,
that's it. Being a ticketer is not just about selling ticket for you to go. I will chat to you. You must not miss your airline. You must get there safely. When you come back, I will be on your DM. So I find fulfillment doing it, and it makes me happy. So thank you for our audience tonight. It's not just about living. It's not just about buying food. It's not just about salary. You have to find fulfillment in whatsoever you are doing. Which leads me to the last question of tonight. How does corporate success contribute to achieving one's life purpose?
Great question. So let me share my story.
Okay.
In response to that question. How does corporate success contribute to achieving one's life purpose? I read biochemistry in university because I wanted to please my mom, right? And after 1 or 2 years of being in that field, I mean, like you rightly said, I got bored. It was routine. It was monotonous. Gosh, I was like, God, I felt like I was going to pass. What? Even though I had very strong grades, I had a 2-1 in biochemistry and it was doing very well. But I just said to myself, there's more to life than mixing chemical, the same quantity every day. Oh, wow. It was too routine for me. So the company I was working with then, as a lab scientist, I was under the HR department, and I saw how HR engaged. I loved it, how the HR manager then used to engage with people. I just loved it. I said to myself, after my NYC, I was going to do HR. My first job, I didn't get an HR job. I got an admin role. I took the role, but afterwards I got transferred into HR. And I thought that was what I wanted. So I was doing my HR career 6 years at Plato, and I was stuck. I felt I wasn't feeling that sense of fulfillment any longer. And I said, I thought I was doing HR because I wanted to fulfill my life purpose. And that's when it dawned on me that I had limited my life purpose to HR just within the company that I was working with then. Those people, the 100 people their HR, that was all. However, the vision was bigger, was larger than the people I was working with as their HR. And that's when I discovered coaching. I realized that coaching helps me to partner with people to achieve their goals. And I'm able to work with people within the organization to achieve the goals of the organization and help people find fulfillment and enjoyment in what they're doing. And that way, my corporate success has helped me to contribute to my life's purpose because one, the right mindset that I take to work every day is to make an impact in my place of work, help people work towards achieving the common goal of the company. And when people deliver good work, they're excited, they're happy, they're rewarded, they're engaged. Every day they come to work with that sense of purpose. And we have a shared vision we are working towards. At the end of the day, when the company is successful, we as individuals too, we are happy, we're excited because our result, our collective effort and our collective result has led to the success of that company. And there's nothing that gives you so much joy and satisfaction than knowing that your handwork is resulting to success. I hope I answered that.
Yes,
correctly.
ma'am. Thank you so much for that. Which I would also share my own experience. In 2022, I was working with someone, I was working with a travel agent, and it was not convenient for me because I'll just go to the office, I'll sit down. I was begging my boss, please, can you open me up? Though I've been to the school and there's limit to what you be taught. But this boss of mine is 10 years experience in ticketing. But my boss is not teaching anything. At times I go to the office, a whole full day, I'm just there. So I was like, I don't know what I bargained for. So my husband was not like, I mean, not thought of opening your own travel agency. I was like, no, it involves big money. I was kind of skeptical. I was scared that I don't think I can do it. But my husband was seeing the bigger picture that no, girl, go for it. You can do it. So what I'm trying to say is that don't limit yourself just because you want to do this. Once you get yourself into, so you feel so comfortable that you are not looking ahead to see the bigger picture. So that was what made me, which I had to resign. I tendered my resignation letter. Then started my own organization, and by the special grace of God, across God has been helping us. So if you want to have your visa too, I can process for you, ma. If you want to do your tickets, both local or international, I'm very, very much available. So, ma, please, because thank you so much. So, ma, because I said something earlier on, our organization is a non-profit organization, and we deal mostly, especially with this younger generation that are coming out of school. So, ma, I don't know if you have any opportunity with you that you can link up us with for this younger generation, if there are opportunities for them, or ones you can recommend to us, so that this younger one can come and start using their brain at an early stage. So I'm showing that to you, ma.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes,
I really appreciate that. So my company is one company that's really passionate about talent development. And we don't just only focus on talent for our organization. We also focus on students under our CSR initiatives, right? So we have a CSR department where we've adopted some schools. We reached out to some schools, especially girls-only schools, where we reach out to them largely during women's event and beyond that. So we do have a couple of schools that we've engaged. We've given out scholarship. We do have a robust corporate social responsibility activity that already focuses on that. And for those who are in higher institution, those who are in university, yes, higher institution, yes, we also do participate in job fairs where we interact with them. We interview them and then we keep them in the pipeline. So we do have quite a lot of initiatives that speaks to the younger generation.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, so we like to come on board with these younger ones of us, as I said earlier on. So I guess we'll talk about that off camera.
Not a problem.
All right, thank you so much, ma. I don't know for our audience online, do we have anyone with questions? Okay, let me go to the chat box. Do we have anyone with questions? Okay. Survey. Okay, to all participants online, there's a form to fill, a survey form to fill. So please, let's do that. She has so much impacted us tonight. In fact, myself, I've unlearned. Thank you so much. I'm so happy. Like, today is one of my special birthdays. So, Ma, I'm so happy. Okay, do you have on YouTube? Do you have any question? Okay, while we await our media team. Do you have any questions? Okay, can we have that? So please help fill the survey form online. Help fill the survey form. There's a survey form online. Okay, so I get, when do you know it's time to have your startup? Okay, Ma, we have a question. Someone is asking, when do you know it's time to have your startup and possibly resign from a firm, and how? When do you know it's time to have your startup and possibly resign from a firm, and how? Okay.
That's a great question. Thank you so much for that question. I think for me, first and foremost, it starts with your calling, what's your calling? For some people, their calling is on the job and beyond. For some people, it's to start their own thing. I would recommend that you start part-time before you resign fully. And when you get to a point where you've been able to save enough, you can sustain 3 months with your savings, focusing on the job, then whenever you have peace of mind, you can resign and focus on it. But it entails a lot of planning. It entails a lot of patience. Sometimes we leave. I mean, there's a lady that I met who resigned, started her job, resigned her job, started her business, and had a bit of 1 or 2 issues, and they went back into the job again. So I would say that prayerfully take that decision. Ensure you're very tactical about it. Ensure you have your backup plan. Ensure you have your backup savings. Ensure that you have the right team, or you have the right business proposal. Ensure you've done a visibility study for the business you are resigning to start, so that you will not start and then the business fails. Just ensure you do your homework before you eventually resign to start fully.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love that. So it's not about the excitement that I want to start my job, because even starting up your own business, it comes with a lot of people. So you have to sit down and strategize. Yes, you have to sit down and strategize. Okay, ma'am, we have another question. Someone is asking, what are your thoughts on a purpose-driven life? I guess she touched that. What are your thoughts?
I touched that already.
Yes, she did. She touched that
already. A purpose-driven life, yes, is the core of your existence, and
yes,
I made example on that already.
I guess that person is the late comer. That person is just coming in. So thank you so much. Thank you. And I would love to chip in this while we are waiting. Probably we have any other question, most especially for, I guess, as I said, we have our targeted audience, but I'd like to chip it in because I'm seeing someone that is married here, especially for we the married. And presently I have 2 kids. And at times, some people see children as a means of limitation to their goals, to their skill. Like when I read your profile, you have 3 children, and I'll give kudos to that even despite the fact that you have children, how were you still able to attain all this? I would like to ask that. Though it's not in the question, but I would like to ask, ma'am.
I remember just with my girlfriend today, and like, how do you do these things? You go to work, you coach, you're a mom, you attend your dance classes, you go to the gym, you do your shopping, yet you are still looking slay. How are you able to do all of this? So what I always say first and foremost for me, it's the grace of God. I'm not just going to come here and act like I'm a superwoman, that I have it all put together. Absolutely not. One is the grace of God, and I acknowledge that. I think secondly for me is planning. Gosh, I plan my day, my weeks, my month ahead. Planning works for me because when you plan, you are able to identify the things you need to do on time, the supports you need, what you need to be put in place. I plan. So planning is one of the key things that has really helped me to do all these multiple things that I do that seem so effortless. And in planning, I plan me as well. So for instance, I go to work, I've had a hectic day. I just feel I need to focus on me. I go to the gym. So I don't see some of these activities that I do as stressful, but I see them as what I'm doing to contribute to myself, to me, right? So I go to the gym, I go to dance school. I just do things that I love to do. So planning, having enough time for myself, and of course, creating memories and moments of connection also helps me. Whenever my kids are around, I try as much as possible to spend time with them. Um, I make enough time for my coaching. I'm writing my second book now. So it's just planning and just the grace of God. And I just want to encourage someone, don't burn out. Me, and I also ensure when I need to take a break, I take a break. Today I was supposed to be at an event before the 7 o'clock. I weighed it and I looked at it. If I'm at that event, I'll miss out the 7 o'clock. If I'm at that event, I'll be very stressed for the 7. So I took a decision and I canceled the event. I sent my regrets. I'm so sorry I can't be at this event. And because I don't want to burn out. So know yourself, be aware, plan, and then live a life of purpose and intentionality. So I'm very intentional with how I spend my time. So that has really helped me.
Thank you so much. That's everything you said is just for me, basically. Because I have two children, and at times I want to do some things. Oh God, mommy this, mommy that. I get so bored out. At times that
Yeah.
is the word restless. Like I
Yes.
even just
Yeah. Just pace yourself.
so, and I have so many people that are in this shoe of mine. They feel like, oh, children, marriage has a way of limiting. They are in this school of thoughts that marriage has a way of limiting someone to achieving one's purpose in life. So, which I told them that no, it does not.
No.
It's just about, yeah, sincerely,
Yeah.
yes,
It's
yes.
just about how you integrate everything together.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And I guess the one thing I'm taking home is planning. I guess I need to work on that, especially
Yeah.
for a day and a week on what.
Yeah. It helps.
Okay. Okay, so I have this will be our last question for tonight. So, Ma, this is my last question for tonight. I have been transitioned at my place of work, and while I'm embracing it, I figured that it is starting to only just take advantage of because some of the things are not even in line with my forefront purpose or career. I want to embrace this growth. I mean, the parts that adds to my growth. But how do I take my stance as well? And also, how do I discuss maybe a race when results from these newly attached roles are being seen? So,
Thank you. Yeah, that's a great question, Benedict. And it speaks to the reality of our corporate world. So a lot of times your role gets expanded and then you just feel like you're doing all sorts. And in addition to that, you feel, oh, you don't feel well compensated as well. So it's unfortunately part of the reality that we face in today's world of work. What I would say to you, one is you need to be mindful of the interpretation you give to things. I like the fact that whilst you're embracing it, it's starting to look like you're being taken advantage of. Yes, because if you're someone who is hardworking and result driven, the business will most likely toss more at you to continue to drive and deliver results. But beyond that, focus on your growth. It's a process. What are the things that you're learning? What are the things that you're building? What are the competencies and capabilities that you're developing within that moment of time where a lot is being tossed at you and it's looking like you're taking advantage of? Be mindful of your interpretation of that you give to things. Instead of feeling like I'm being taken advantage of, why don't you feel like I'm being trusted to take more, right? So change your mindset and interpretation. That would really help you feel like you're trusted. And when it gets to the point where you're at the borderline, you don't want to break, you don't want to burn out, shout. Please have a conversation. I'm sorry, I've taken so much, but it's beginning to tell on my health. It's beginning to stretch me. I'm beginning to fall ill. Please, can you review this? So if it's getting to the extreme and impacting your health in any way, please shout out. Otherwise, it's just for a season. Take all the learnings that you can learn. And if you need a pay rise, yes, feel free to also engage for a pay rise, but that will be after you have delivered results. So if you're not delivering results, you're just working, getting busy, and you're asking for pay rise, nobody will listen to you.
Mama, some organization, they don't consider that too. Irrespective of your results. They don't.
Yeah, it depends. It depends. So if you deliver on the results and there's space for promotion, why not? But if there's no space for promotion, engage. And if you need to promote yourself outside the company, feel free to promote yourself outside the company.
Yes. Thank you so much. So to all our audience tonight, I hope we are not just here taking one or two things home. So, ma'am, thank you so much. It's so nice having you on this platform. As I said earlier on, today is my best birthday ever. So, mama, don't worry, you see me in person, I'm coming to visit you. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's nice having you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you, ma. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
And you too. Yes, ma'am. So thanks to everyone that tuned in tonight for our session. And I hope we are going on with one or two things. Thank you. As we said earlier on, Purpose Movement is back. So we are going to have more of this. So thank you so much. And a happy birthday. Can we drop it on the chat? Happy birthday. Happy birthday. So that I can take somebody on a date too. I actually want to pick a winner. So we'll have nice time together. So please drop it. I will choose. Happy birthday on YouTube. Okay, thank you so much. Folashade Akonji, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for making today a special one. Thank you, Tosin Awoleye. Thank you, Kemi Williams. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. So we're having more of this. Thank you, Benedict. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's nice having you here. All right. Bye and good night.